crystallization and recrystallization are very common techniques to purify organic compounds. Crystallization generally consists of the solvents and the solids. Choosing the solvent is important. The solvent should be barely soluble at room temperature and very soluble at the boiling point of the solvents. The solid is usually dissolved in the hot solvent until the solution becomes saturated. The solution is allowed to cool at room temperature and then furthermore by ice. Allowing the solution to slowly cool allows for the formation of larger crystals. To demonstrate the steps of crystallization and recrystallization, we're going to use benzoic acid as a solid and dissolve it in water. First, we use a 100 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask to dissolve 2 grams of benzoic acid in 30 grams of water. And it's important to use an Erlenmeyer flask to prevent evaporation of solvent while boiling. So I'm going to add the water, benzoic acid, and I'm using 2 boiling chips. I'm turning my hot plate on to about 4 or 5.
Hey, this is just a reminder from Sam in post-production that you should be doing this lab in a well-ventilated area with the proper PPE, as some of the fumes can be irritating and even harmful to both skin and eyes. Thank you, and back to the video.
While the solution is boiling, we'll add about 1 milliliter of water at a time until the benzoic acid fully dissolves. So there's a little bit of residue left in the funnel, so I'm going to be using a pipette and water just to make sure we get all of that product out of there. After it is fully dissolved, remove the flask from the hot plate and allow it to cool to room temperature. Once the flask has reached room temperature, place the flask into an ice bath until crystals are fully formed. If crystals have not yet formed after you've placed them in the ice bath, hold the top of the flask and scratch the bottom of the flask with the glass rod. This encourages crystal formation by creating vibrations within the flask. If this doesn't work, use a technique called seeding by taking crystals of the product and putting it inside the flask. Once the crystals have fully formed, collect the crystals by vacuum filtration. Make sure to pre-weigh your filter paper. If you need a reminder on vacuum filtration, visit our video that will take you step by step on the setup and procedure. Your crystals should look something like this. If your crystals are too large, make sure to break them up gently with a glass stir rod. Go ahead and dump it in here. And if you need to, you can use some of your solvent to wash out the remaining crystals in the flask. Once your crystals have been filtered and washed, transfer your product in your filter paper to a desiccator jar for drying. Let the product dry until your next lab meeting. In your next lab meeting, you should be ready for taking weights and melting points.